We lost 3 years. We gave them this money.
Ukrainian president added that Russia sold a large volume of energy to China, India, Brazil and other countries. Moreover, thanks to products manufactured by a number of countries, Russia was able to produce missiles.
And with sanctions again, the same, and with the banking systems again, and with the defense sector, be honest, yes, because without European and American and Taiwan and China and some European partners, without the product of these companies, without the details, what they produce, Putin couldn't manage to produce so big number of missiles.
When asked whether Russia could win if there were no more American assistance, Zelensky said that most likely Russia would have a greater chance. Moreover, Ukraine would suffer far more losses. The Ukrainian leader concluded, "We would have more losses, much more, without US support, the kind they can give us, for example, missiles for Patriot systems. If they stop helping, today we used Patriot systems, they are not enough, but we still use them. So if the US doesn't give us missiles, what then? More losses, more people will die." President Volodymyr Zelensky, in an interview with ABC News, said that Ukraine was supposed to receive 20,000 specialized missiles to counter Shahed drones, but the current administration of US President Donald Trump decided to send them to the Middle East instead. Zelensky said that Ukraine was facing serious problems with the Shaheds and other threats, and that they were fighting them and would find every tool to destroy them. He noted that Ukraine had earlier agreed with former US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin on a separate project. According to Zelensky, that project was initiated under the previous US administration during President Joe Biden's term in office.
We counted on this project. 20,000 between us. 20,000 missiles, anti-Shahed missiles. It wasn't expensive, but it's special technology. So we counted on these 20,000 missiles. Today in the morning, my Minister of Defense told me that the United States has moved it to the Middle East.
How is this even possible? Ukraine is under relentless attack by Shahed drones. 20,000 specialized missiles were promised not as charity, but as a vital lifeline. We counted on them, our soldiers, our cities, our children counted on them. And now we hear they were quietly rerouted to the Middle East? This isn't just a logistical decision. It's a punch in the gut to a nation fighting on the front lines of democracy. It's hard not to ask, what the hell is going on? Units of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine struck the Savosleika airfield in the Nizhny Novgorod region of Russia. 2 aircraft were destroyed, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The Russian Savosleika air base is used for strikes on the territory of Ukraine, in particular MiG-31K fighters, which are carriers of Kinzhal air ballistic missiles, regularly take off from this military facility.
According to preliminary information, 2 units of Russian aircraft, probably MiG-31 and Su-30/34, were hit. The results of combat operations are being clarified.
About Kinzhal carriers, Savosleika is a military airfield in the Nizhny Novgorod region of Russia. Its full name is Savosleika Air Base. It is located near the village of the same name in the district of the city of Pervomaisk. The airfield is used by the Russian armed forces, in particular to deploy and train combat aircraft crews. Since 2022, MiG-31Ks have been used by Russia to launch Kinzhal missiles, which are considered highly vulnerable to air defense due to their hypersonic speed. MiG-31s are often based or temporarily relocated to airfields in northern Russia, including Savosleika and Belarus. The appearance of MiG-31s in the air is often detected by Ukrainian air defense as a potential threat of missile launch. On the morning of June 9th, the Ukrainian Air Force reported a missile threat throughout Ukraine due to the takeoff of the MiG-31K. Sometime later, it was reported at 9 a.m. that the Kinzhals were heading toward the Rivne region. Later, it was reported that 3 explosions were heard in the Rivne region. There will be no safe scars left for Russia. Every airfield they used to terrorize Ukrainian cities, every MiG, every Kinzhal carrier is now a legitimate target. The strike on Sevastopol is just the beginning. For every missile they launch, there will be consequences. For every innocent life taken, there will be a response. The area of impunity is over. Ukraine is not only defending, it is hunting. Russian pilots launching from deep inside their territory can no longer feel untouchable. If they think distance protects them, they are wrong. They started this war from above. They will learn the cost from above too. There will be more strikes, more explosions, more justice delivered. Russia will pay in aircraft, in infrastructure, in fear. This war is coming home. The Russian army continues its attempts to advance on the Kursk axis. Still, Ukrainian forces will carry out their duties for as long as necessary, Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky stated in the second part of the documentary film Operation Kursk, which aired during the national TV marathon.
I wouldn't talk about any deadlines or a final stretch, because as we can see, despite everything, Russia continues to intensify pressure in this direction. So as military personnel, we will do our job for as long as the situation requires.
About situation in Kursk region, the Ukrainian armed forces have been conducting operations in Russia's Kursk region for nearly a year. Recently, Ukrainian defenders repelled 11 Russian attacks in the Kursk direction. Russia also carried out 11 airstrikes using 13 guided bombs and conducted 127 shelling attacks. On May 29th, the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine reported that Russia had been amassing forces in the Kursk region for several months, and by now, these forces are sufficient for a potential offensive in the Sumy region. As of May 30th, the situation on the Sumy border remains tense. Evacuations are ongoing, and conditions along the contact line are constantly shifting. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.